morning, dear students. So after completing the types of seed dormancy and the methods to break the seed dormancy, now we are going to study the role of phytohormones to improve seed germination. So in this lecture we have to study the role of different plant hormones that has to be played during the process of seed germination. So the plant hormones that are synthesized in the plant that regulate the growth and development of the plant. So plant hormones or phytohormones are plant growth regulating substances that are synthesized in one part of the plant and translocated to the other plant where it produces its specific physiological effect that we call it as phytohormones or plant hormones. In the life cycle of plants, both the processes, that is seed dormancy and germination, are the two phases of one seed. The seed dormancy is required for the storage of seed, during which the seed is not able to germinate. But for multiplication of the seed, we requires seed germination. So seed dormancy and germination are the two important phases of one seeds. Both the crucial phases are controlled by the phytohormones. The process of seed dormancy and germination are antagonistic to each other. They are opposite to each other. Seed dormancy is the inability of the seed to germinate, while germination is the process of emergence of plumule and radicle. So the process of seed germination and seed dormancy are antagonistic to each other. Both the events are distinct physiological activities of the seeds and play a vital role in agriculture. Both the processes are controlled and regulated very precisely by diverse endogenous hormone. Endogenous hormone, those are synthesized in the plant, inside the plant, so it is referred as endogenous hormones, and external factors, that is the environmental factors. So the seed dormancy and seed germination are controlled and regulated very precisely by diverse endogenous hormones and environmental factors. In fact, abscisic acid ABA and gibberellic acid GA are the major determinants of seed dormancy and germination, and both antagonistically regulate seed dormancy and germination. So during the process of seed dormancy and germination, these two hormones are important. ABA induces seed dormancy, while gibberellic acid, it regulates the seed germination. So these hormones, abscisic acid, that is ABA, and gibberellic acid, that is GA, both antagonistically, oppositely regulate the seed dormancy and germination. Now here we are going to study the role of gibberellin in seed germination. So gibberellin or gibberellic acid is the key hormone in seed germination, which breaks the seed dormancy and stimulate germination by antagonistically suppressing the ABA triggered seed dormancy and promote seed germination. So I was previously told that the gibberellic acid, which works antagonistically or against the ABA. So gibberellic acid is a key phytohormone in seed germination, which breaks the seed dormancy and stimulates germination. So seed dormancy that has been triggered by abscisic acid has been antagonistically suppressed by the gibberellic acid, and it promotes the seed germination. Gibberellic acid stimulates the biosynthesis of hydrolytic enzymes such as amylase, peptidase and protease, as well as lipase. So these are the hydrolytic enzymes that are stimulated, its synthesis has been stimulated by the gibberellic acid, such as amylase, peptidase, protease, as well as lipase. So the amylase enzyme acts on the reserve food material, that is the starch. Peptidase acts on the proteins or the peptides, while proteases that act on the proteins, as well as the lipases that act on the lipids. So the reserve food material in the cotyledon or the endosperm has been mobilized by the activity of the hydrolytic enzyme during the process of seed germination. So gibberellic acid stimulates the biosynthesis of hydrolytic enzymes. So how the gibberellin stimulate the seed germination and break the seed dormancy? The answer behind this is that it stimulates the biosynthesis of hydrolytic enzymes that broke down or break down the complex reserve food like carbohydrates, proteins and fats as well as oils, and produce simple consumable substances like sugars, amino acids, fatty acids and triglycerol. So these simple consumable substances has been utilized by the developing embryo during seed germination. So gibberellic acid stimulates the biosynthesis of hydrolytic enzymes such as amylase, peptidase, proteases as well as lipases. These enzymes break down the complex reserve food material that has been present in the cotyledon or endosperm. So such complex organic food material like carbohydrates, proteins, fats as well as oils has been broken down by the activity of hydrolytic enzyme. So as a result of this, it produces simple consumable substances or compounds like sugars, amino acids, fatty acids and triglycerol. So by using these, the developing embryo during germination process leads to the enhanced seed germination. So these substances are used by developing embryo during germination process that leads to enhanced seed germination. So this is the role of gibberellin in seed germination. Next is the role of other phytohormones in seed germination. Like gibberellic acid, some other phytohormone that also played an important role during the process of seed germination that I am going to explain here under the heading role of other phytohormones in seed germination. It is proposed that like gibberellic acid, the other plant hormones like auxin, indole-3 acetic acid, ethylene, brassinosteroids, jasmonic acids, salicylic acid, cytokinase and strigolactones are involved in seed germination activity. So like the gibberellic acid, these hormones also played an important role during the process of seed germination. So one by one we are going to study these plant hormones or phytohormones that played important role in improving seed germination. So first one is the brassinosteroids, BRS. So brassinosteroid is a new group of phytohormone overcome the inhibitory effect of abscisic acid and stimulate germination. BRS promote seed germination. BRS induces gibberellic acid biogenesis or enhance gibberellic acid signaling, thereby increase seed germination. So this is the another one group of phytohormone, we call it as brassinosteroids, in short BRS, which overcome the inhibitory effect of abscisic acid and stimulate germination. It also induces gibberellic acid biogenesis or biosynthesis or enhance gibberellic acid signaling, thereby increase the seed germination. Next is the salicylic acid, SA, also regulates seed germination as a bifunctional modulator. It mainly promotes germination under high salinity condition. So salicylic acid is another one phytohormone that regulate seed germination as a bifunctional modulator. It mainly promotes germination under high salinity condition. The third one phytohormone is the cytokinase, abbreviated as CTKS, promote seed germination by antagonizing abscisic acid, especially by regulating its transcription, and also antagonize ABA signaling. So this is the phytohormone cytokinin which promotes seed germination. How they promote seed germination? It antagonize the ABA, abscisic acid, especially by regulating its transcription, and also antagonize ABA signaling. So this is the third one phytohormone that plays an important role in the process of seed germination. Then ethylene. Ethylene breaks seed dormancy and promotes seed germination by counteracting the effect of abscisic acid. So here in each phytohormone, this plays an important role in counteracting or antagonizing the effect of abscisic acid. So what is the effect of abscisic acid? Abscisic acid is mainly responsible for seed dormancy. Seed dormancy is the inability of the seed to germinate under favorable conditions of temperature, light, humidity and oxygen. Okay, so for germination of the seed, the phytohormones, they works against, they counteracting the effect of abscisic acid. So ethylene breaks seed dormancy and promotes seed germination by counteracting the effects of abscisic acid. Ethylene negatively affect the abscisic acid biogenesis and signaling. Next is the jasmonic acid, Ja. It suppresses the genes for abscisic acid biosynthesis and promotes seed germination. So jasmonic acid is another group of phytohormone that suppresses the abscisic acid biosynthesis at gene level, and it promotes the seed germination. Jasmonic acid and abscisic acid work antagonistically. So all these phytohormones that are played an important role during seed germination, they work against or antagonistically or counteracting the effect of abscisic acid, which is mostly responsible for the seed germination, which is responsible for seed to not germinate. So this is the effect of or the role of phytohormones in the seed germination. The phytohormones like ethylene, brassinosteroids, jasmonic acid, salicylic acid, cytokinins regulate seed germination process mostly by mediating the ABA-GA balance. Thus, hormones and signaling compounds precisely regulate seed germination through an integrated network of interactions with ABA-GA ratio balance as the central mode. So this is the role of phytohormones to improve the seed germination. Next point is the vigor index, in short VI. So here we are going to study the vigor index or VI. When any seed start germination, it is interesting to note various parameters such as percent seed germination, root and shoot length, root shoot ratio, mobilization efficiency, germination index and vigor index. So these are the parameters that should be noted during the process of seed germination. The quality of seed and germination ability is tested by such parameters. These parameters gives an idea about the use of seeds for sowing and raising new crop in agriculture. So these are the quality parameters of seed germination. For example, percent seed germination. Suppose if you take the 100 seeds for germination and of which 80 seeds get germinate, so we say 80% seed germination has been occurred. So this is the percent seed germination. Similarly, root and shoot length. So after emergence of plumule and radicle or shoot and root, the length of root and shoot has been measured in centimeter. So this is the root and shoot length. Next is the root shoot ratio. So after measuring the root and shoot length, the ratio has been made, that is referred as root shoot ratio. Mobilization efficiency. The reserve food material that has been present in the endosperm or cotyledon has been broken down by the hydrolytic enzymes. This enzyme breaks the complex compounds into the simpler products, and this has been utilized by the developing embryo for seed germination. So this is the mobilization efficiency, germination index and vigor index. So these are the parameters that has been noted during the process of seed germination. Seed vigor is an important quality parameter which needs to be assessed by supplementing with germination and viability tests to get insight of the performance of seeds in the field or during storage. So the definition of seed vigor that has been given by ISTA in 1977, the sum total of those properties of the seed which determine the level of activity and performance of the seed or seedlot during germination and seedling emergence, that is called as the seed vigor. So seed vigor is the sum total of those quality parameters which determine the level of activity and the performance of seed during germination and seedling emergence. So this parameter comprises percent seed germination, root and shoot length, root shoot ratio, germination index. So these parameters has been considered for calculation of seed vigor. It is the sum total of these parameters, these quality parameters that has been noted during the seed germination, which determine the level of activity and the performance of seed during germination and seedling emergence. That is called as the seed vigor. Once again I am going to repeat the definition of seed vigor, the sum total of those properties of the seed which determine the level of activity and performance of the seed or seed lot during germination and seedling emergence. This is called as the vigor index. Importance of vigor index VI. In case of germinating seed, not only vigor index but time, rate, homogeneity and synchronization of germination are important factors or the issues. Using these indices, ecology of plant population could be better predicted. Vigor index and other parameters are important to know successful establishment and survival of the plant species or communities in nature or in particular habitat over the time period. So vigor index is calculated as, vigor index is equal to germination percentage multiplied by the seedling dry weight. So the germination percentage, seedling dry weight, shoot length, average seedling length, so these are the quality parameters that has been noted during the seed germination. The vigor index is the sum total of these parameters that can determine the activity and the performance of the seed during germination and seedling emergence. So vigor index has been calculated by the first formula, that is the germination percentage into the seedling dry weight. Germination percentage has been multiplied with the seedling dry weight. It can be calculated as germination percentage multiplied by the average seedling length or germination percentage multiplied by the shoot length. So this is about the vigor index, which is the sum total of the parameters that has been noted during the seed germination, which determine the level of activity and the performance of seed during germination and seedling emergence. So these parameters like percent seed germination, root and shoot length, root shoot ratio, mobilization efficiency, germination index that has been noted during the process of seed germination, and sum total of these properties, these parameters of the seeds which determine the level of activity and performance of the seed during germination and seedling emergence has been used for the calculation of the seed vigor. So this is about the seed vigor and vigor index. Okay, so next point is the seed germination. The seeds are the miniature plants of the future. The life cycle of the plant starts from seed germination, and which is a vital stage of development. Seed germination is an important determinant of crop productivity. So seeds are the miniature plants of the future. The plant starts its life cycle from the seed germination, and by performing the various physiological activities, it resulted or culminated into the death of the plant. So the seed germination, which is a vital stage of development in the life cycle of the plant, the process begins with the imbibition of water and passes through mobilization of food reserve, protein synthesis, and finally resulted into the emergence of plumule and radicle. So the process of seed germination that has been begins with the imbibition of water. So imbibition of water is the first event during the process of seed germination. So imbibition water means the water has been entered inside the seed, or the absorption of the water by the colloidal material resulted into the swelling. That process is called as the imbibition. So seed possesses colloidal material. So the colloidal material which is present in the seed has been, which absorb the water from the surrounding and resulted into the swelling. So this phenomenon is called as the imbibition. So the first event during the process of seed germination is the imbibition of water. Then it passes through mobilization of food reserve, protein synthesis, and finally resulted into the emergence of plumule and radicle. So after the imbibition of the seed, the various hydrolytic enzymes get activated that mobilize the food reserve, protein synthesis, and finally that simpler compounds has been utilized for the emergence of plumule and radicle. So during the mobilization of reserve food material means the hydrolytic enzyme that act on the food reserves present in the cotyledon and cotyledon or the endosperm, which broken down these complex compounds such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, lipids into the simpler products, and these products has been utilized for the emergence of plumule and radicle. So I said in a one sentence that this process, that is seed germination process, begins with the immobilization. The process of seed germination begins with the imbibition of water, passes through mobilization of food reserve, protein synthesis, and finally resulted into the emergence of plumule and radicle. To sustain good seedling development, seeds store food materials mainly as proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. These are the sources of energy, carbon and nitrogen for seedling development and establishment. So the reserve food material in the cotyledon or the endosperm is in the form of proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates that has been broken down by the activity of hydrolytic enzyme, which act as a source of energy, carbon and nitrogen for seedling growth, development and establishment. Water imbibition by reserved substances stimulates the embryo to produce phytohormones, mainly gibberellic acid (Ga), which can diffuse to aileron layer of monocot seeds like maize. The physiological biochemical changes are related with the seedling and vegetative growth and ultimately with the yield and its quality. The process of seed germination involves water imbibition by seed, reactivation of metabolism, emergence or protrusion of plumule and radicle. So these are the events that occur during the process of seed germination. The first event is the water imbibition by the seed. Then the reactivation of metabolism means the various hydrolytic enzymes has been synthesized in the seed after imbibition of the water. These act on the reserved food material, broken down into the simpler products, and that has been utilized for the emergence or protrusion of plumule and radicle. Definition of seed germination. The physiological process of emergence of plumule and radicle is called seed germination. So it is the one of the physiological process which determine the emergence of plumule and radicle from the seed is called seed germination. There are two types of seed germination, hypogeal and epigeal. So the first one is the hypo means below, epigeal means above, ep means above, hypo means below. So there are two types of germination based on the position of cotyledon. First, hypogeal seed germination. The seed germination in monocots is hypogeal. The cotyledons remains below the soil during germination. So when the cotyledons remains below the soil during germination, that type of germination is called as hypogeal seed germination. For example, in case of monocots, maize, sorghum, grasses, wheat, these are the examples of hypogeal type of seed germination. Next to this is the epigeal seed germination. The seed germination in dicots is epigeal. The cotyledons come above the soil during germination. So during epigeal type of seed germination, the cotyledons come above the soil. So the word used is the EP, above the soil during germination. For example, dicot plants like sunflower, groundnut, pea, beans, castor, mango. So these are the examples of the plants which shows epigeal type of seed germination. So there are two types of seed germination based on the position of cotyledon, whether it is below the soil or above the soil. When the during germination, when the cotyledons remains below the soil, that type of germination is called as hypogeal. And when the cotyledons come above the soil during germination, that is called as epigeal germination. So this is about the seed germination. Now the metabolic changes during seed germination. So this point we discuss in the next lecture. Thank you. Stay home.